In a previous video, I talked about GoodTimes' Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the movie. But did you know that GoodTimes afterward ended up making a direct sequel to the Rankin Bass classic? The name of it was Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys, and it picks up directly after the 1964 classic. But is this any good? It's a direct video GoodTimes sequel to a beloved TV classic. Is it worth checking out? And the answer is no, but with an asterisk. Because I actually think there is a lot with this sequel to like. The biggest problem is the animation. The animation is very much so 2004 direct-to-video. So I think that for someone my age, for someone, if you were maybe a young person in 2004, whether a kid or maybe an older teen, whatever, in 2004, you might look back at this movie with nostalgia. Like, oh yeah, I remember how animation was back then. But I cannot recommend this to a new viewer, to a new young viewer or old viewer, because the animation is just not up to par with what people nowadays would expect. And it's not a case where, for instance, you can compare the first Toy Story's animation to that of Toy Story 4 from 2019. The animation in Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys looks unfinished. But like I said, there is a lot going for this sequel, so let's talk about it. The plot is simple. The toy taker, a mysterious villain, has been stealing toys, and it's up to Rudolph and the gang, Hermie, he's back, and all of the friends, Clarice. They have to figure out what is going on. I do think that this sequel is respectful to the original in a lot of ways. For instance, the narrator. I didn't really care for the narrator voiced by Richard Dreyfuss, but I do like the fact that he's a news reporter snowman. And in the first movie, you remember that the initial TV special began with all these news reports. So yeah, okay, so now they have a snowman who is a news reporter. I get the connection. Okay, cool. I didn't really care for that character, but I like that they're trying to at least show a little bit of respect to the TV classic. For instance, I think it's really clever that Hermie, the elf, is attracted to the Tooth Fairy. He has a crush on her. In the first TV special, you know Hermie is obsessed with teeth. And then when you see this new movie, or well, it was new in 2004, and you think, okay, yeah, the Tooth Fairy would exist in this world. So yeah, it is kind of cute and clever that Hermie would have a crush on the Tooth Fairy. But then you see some of the animation, like, I'm not just talking about it being unpolished. There are shots where Hermie, like the characters change sizes. 1 minute, Hermie will be about as tall as Rudolph, and the next minute, Hermie will be halfway up to Rudolph's leg. The animation just is not up to par. And I'm going to get off of it because I know I'm sure people worked hard on it, and it was 2004. I'm sure a lot of people were just doing the best they could back then, so I don't want to belabor that point. But I'm just saying that I remember back in 2004, I'm old enough to remember this, a lot of people felt that some studios were adopting computer animation too early. And so with a project like this, the project wasn't able to live up to its potential because the animation was so limited to what they could do back then. And this is a prime example. Again, all your favorite characters from the first TV classic are back. Santa Claus is a lot different in this one, and I'm not complaining. A lot of people are not crazy about how Santa is kind of a curmudgeon in the Rankin Bass Rudolph classic. Here he is very much his old self, jolly, big and everything. He's very much the traditional Santa Claus, which might actually make some people happy. Another thing that I liked about this special, so Rudolph in the first movie, he has the bright red nose. People treat him as a freak, right? In this film, he still obviously has the bright red nose, and he saved Santa and the sleigh and everything that one night. But he's still a freak. I mean, he's become a parlor trick. He goes to a party, a Christmas party, and it's not, oh, hey, there's Rudolph. He's a cool guy. It's, hey, Rudolph, do the trick with your nose. He still is just a freak, but in a different way, and that eats at him. So he meets this character who repairs broken toys because he views himself as broken. And she says, oh, yeah, Rudolph, I can give you a normal nose. And he's tempted by that. He's tempted by this, okay, yeah, let's get rid of this bright red thing and let's go with, give me a traditional reindeer nose. But then, of course, he weighs, well, am I Rudolph without the bright red nose? That is really good stuff right there. Unfortunately, the movie just blows right past it, and we go back to the stuff with the toy taker and all that. But what I'm saying, though, there are little sparks here and there that make you think, with the right development, this could have been something really special. I also like that it fleshes out Clarice a little bit. Some of the characters like Cornelius and Bumble, they don't really do a whole lot. They're basically there just so you can say, oh yeah, it's them again. Hey, yeah, I like seeing them in the first movie, so here they are again. Cool. Let's talk about the film songs. It's a mixed bag. There's a love song that is like an R&B song with someone singing over the action. That seems kind of out of left field. I think it was kind of emulating how Disney at that time, you take like Can You Feel Love Tonight from The Lion King or Tarzan, or so, that you had that singer singing over the action on screen. That's kind of what they're trying to mimic a little bit with that. But it being an R&B song out of nowhere, it's not quite that. The song's not bad, but some of the other songs, I think they were written pretty quickly. Maybe they could have used another pass or two and with some better lyrics. But even still, some of these, they do sound like, there's one song in particular that lyrics aren't great, but it does have that Rankin Bass feel to it. Another example, there's a song called Best Christmas Ever. That very much feels like something that you would have heard from an original Rankin Bass classic. But for me, the standout song is probably Island of Misfit Toys. It's really catchy. It was kind of stuck on loop in my head for a little bit after I heard it. So yeah, the songs are a mixed bag, but overall, I think they're good enough, if there's even such a thing. Really, the biggest complaint I have about this, aside from the animation, there is one song that steals so much from When She Loved Me from Toy Story 2 that Pixar probably could have sued. I won't spoil it because it happens toward the end, but a toy is singing about a boy who loved to play with them, and then the boy abandoned him, and we even get a shot of the toy in a cardboard box and everything looking over. I mean, it's very... I don't want to say plagiarism because that's kind of a serious thing to say about something, but I mean, it's really, you can tell that it was heavily inspired by When She Loved Me from Toy Story 2. I mean, there's no denying it. If you were to play the scenes side by side, there's just no denying that there was a little bit of copying going on. Overall, Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys is good, not great. It has enough going for it that you wish it was a lot better. I can't quite recommend it. It's just again, the animation just isn't there, and in the story and the songs and everything, it's just it's one of those projects that just is so close to being something that you want to recommend, but it's not quite there. Overall, I would give it 2 out of 4 stars. Have you seen Rudolph and the Island of Misfit Toys? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, this has been Josh with Movies Please. Thanks for watching.